Hello everyone. Today we will learn a very important and interesting topic in mathematics, that is probability. So probability is something we use in our daily life. Let's say when we say it might rain today, or when we say this question is likely to come in exam. So at that moment we are actually talking about the probability. So let's understand this topic step by step. So firstly we will going through the definition of probability. Probability is a mathematical measure of how likely an event is to occur, and it is expressed in a number between 0 to 1. So simply probability is the how likely an event is to occur. So firstly understanding the term, what is the meaning of event. So event is basically group of outcomes that we are interested in, or in simple words you can say that what we want. In simple words, event is what we want. So in simple word you can say that event is what we want. So let's explain this with the help of example. Let's say for tossing a coin we want a probability of getting head. So there is probability of getting head, ahead. Basically this term is our event. This is the meaning of event. So what we want a getting ahead. So this is our event. So here it expressed between 0 to 1. This means that if our probability is equal to 1, so this means that the event will definitely occur. So this means that if our probability we get a 1, exactly 1, then we can surely say that our event will definitely occur. And if our probability is 0, so this means that the event cannot occur. And if our probability lies between 0 to 1, then at this situation we cannot sure about anything. So we can say about probability like how probably that event is to occur. So this is the meaning of this. And before going to solving the examples of probability, first thing we have to know that how we calculate the probability. For calculating the probability, we use a simple formula of probability, that is formula of probability is that the number of favorable outcomes upon total number of possible outcomes. So this is our formula for calculating the probability of any problem. So we can use this formula for calculating the probability. Here we use a term favorable outcome. So what is the meaning of favorable outcome? Favorable outcome is just a set of outcomes that satisfy our event, This means that, let's say we toss a coin we want a probability of getting ahead. So we want a probability of getting ahead. We want probability of getting ahead. So first we have to find the sample space of our event. So what is the sample space? Sample space is basically the number of possible outcomes, total number of possible outcomes. So in our example, for tossing a coin, the sample space is head or tail. So out of head and tail, it can be happen head or tail. So this is our sample space, and our favorable outcome will be what is our event? Our event is that getting ahead, probability of getting ahead. So our favorable outcome will be a head, because in sample space there is only one head and that satisfies our event condition. So that's why the favorable outcome will be head, and number of favorable outcome will be 1, and number of sample space will be 2. So simply we can calculate here by using the formula that is getting a probability of head, which is equal to the number of favorable outcomes that are 1 and upon total number of possible outcomes that are 2. So the probability getting head is 1/2. So now we understand what is the probability and what is the formula of probability that we use for solving the problems. So now we are going to solve some examples of probability. So first question is that we roll a die, and what is the probability of getting an even number? So what is this question say? That we roll a die and we have to find the probability of getting an even number. So let's solve this problem. So when we roll a die, there are the 6 possible outcomes. It can be happen 1, it can be happen 2, it can be happen 3, it can be happen 4, it can be happen 5, and it can be 6. So our total possible outcomes will be total possible outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Or you can say that in the space of total possible outcome, you can say that the sample space. Our sample space is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So now what we want? We want getting an even number. So our event is that getting an even number. So let's see here the even number when experiment occurring, the even number in the die is that even number is 2. You can say that even number is 2, 4 and 6. So our event is will become 2, 4 and 6. So favorable outcomes are that satisfy our event. So these three terms satisfy our event. So our event is that even number. So the favorable outcomes are 2, 4, 6, and number of favorable outcomes are 3. So now apply a probability formula. What is the probability formula? That the probability of getting an even number, which is equal to total number of favorable outcomes that are 3 and upon total possible outcomes or sample space that are 6. So 3 by 6, which is equal to 1 by 2. So our probability of getting an even number when we roll a die, that is 1 by 2. So now moving forward to the next example, we solve another example of probability, that is a bag contains 5 red balls and 3 blue balls. One ball is drawn at random. What is the probability that the ball drawn is red? So what is the question says that what are given? So first we understand what the question says. Question says that a bag contains 5 red balls and 3 blue balls. Like total balls are 8 balls, and one ball we have to draw a random ball, one random ball. So and we have to find that what is the probability of that random ball drawn is red. So let's solve this example. First write the sample space. So bag contains 5 red balls, 5 red balls and 3 blue balls. So the total balls are 5 plus 3, which is equal to 8. This is basically our sample space. So our sample space is which is equal to 8. And what is our event? Our event is that a probability of getting a red ball. Probability of getting a red ball. So what will be our favorable outcome? So our favorable outcome will be 5, because these 5 balls are red and this red is satisfy our event condition. So our favorable outcomes will be 5. So now apply the probability formula for calculating the probability of getting a ball is red. So probability of ball is red, which is equal to total number of favorable outcomes, that is 5, and upon total number of sample space. We have sample space are 8, so 5 upon 8. So this is the probability we get a probability of getting a ball red. So now let's solve another example of probability, that is 2 coins are tossed together and find the probability of getting at least one head. So we are given that 2 coins are tossed together. So we have to find that the probability of getting at least one head. So let's solve this problem. So first we have to write the sample space our question. So what are the sample space? Sample space means how can event is occur. So 2 coins are tossed together. So the sample space of this will become head, because one coin can happen head, second coin also can happen head. Similarly, head, tail, head, and tail. This is our sample space. And now what we want getting at least one head. So you can see that at least one head meaning that the minimum number of head is 1. Minimum number of head should be 1. So here the minimum number of head in the sample space there are three outcomes. So our favorable outcomes will be head, tail, and tail, head. So now simply just apply the formula of probability, and so probability of getting at least one head, which is equal to total number of favorable outcomes. The total number of favorable outcomes are 3, 1, 2, 3. So total number of favorable outcomes upon the sample space. So how many sample space we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 by 4 will be the probability of getting at least one head. So I hope you understand the concept of probability very well, and that is all about today's lecture. So thank you for listening.